everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been 2.5 years since Spider-Man Far From Home, and while this is on track to hopefully become one of the biggest movies of all time, this is the movie of the year that everyone is going to see in cinemas. So this is Kia's Reviews, and this is my review of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Don't worry, ma'am! I'm coming!
This is a non-spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you're safe. Spider-Man No Way Home is unquestionably the movie that everybody is going to see these holidays. However, this isn't a typical superhero film that you're used to seeing. This is purely phenomenal and on another level. I'm not overhyping the movie when I say that it is my favourite Marvel movie of all time and my second favourite comic book adaptation of all time, just behind The Dark Knight. I can definitely say that I'll go see this more than once because everything within this well-paced cinematic experience compacted to only 2.5 hours is incredible. Given that there are some deep-rooted, easy-to-spoil spoilers throughout the movie, I'm going to play it safe and keep this a non-spoiler review, even though it will be incredibly difficult for me to do so, but keep an eye out for my spoiler-filled review coming out in the next few weeks. The first thing that has stuck with me since exiting and fully processing how much Jon Watts and Marvel Studios has given audiences with this movie is that a lot of it was purely strung along with nostalgia and fan service. Some movies overdo that fact just to satisfy fans, for example Avengers Endgame, but No Way Home does it in a way that it honours all of the films preceding it, including Tobey's trilogy as well as Andrew's. Having all the villains from their movies be present as a continuation of what could have been done after their deaths in previous outings, but also what feels like a refreshingly new take on the characters since they last portrayed them, felt like they'd all just picked up where they left off in their previous film and delivered even better performances.
Hello, Peter.
Hi? Do I know you?
What have you done with my machine?
Your machine. I don't know what you're talking about. What machine?
Do you want to play games? Catch!
A lot of the reason as to why I think that there are very few people out there spoiling No Way Home is because people around the world hold Spider-Man close to their hearts, whether it be the animated Spider-Verse movie, the games, or even the 7 Spidey movies we've gotten so far. Even though Endgame was very spoilery, this takes keeping secrets to a whole new level. Besides the obvious hopefulness of certain characters arriving, there is so much more to keep as a secret. By seeing how all of these familiar villains were able to continue their story so smoothly, but also feel like new interpretations of them, was astounding. The cast member I keep coming back to is surprisingly Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. As much as some might not pay too much attention to his performance, I felt like I was hooked in by every twist and turn that he had to perform convincingly. The subtleties behind his character arc were beautifully brought to the big screen by him, but he felt more like a human being than the Goblin. This goes for everybody like Doc Ock, Electro, Sandman, and the Lizard. Everything felt fresh and not a rehash of what we've seen before. I've never really believed the chemistry between Zendaya's MJ and Tom's Peter Parker because it just felt so awkward, which I guess is realistic and relatable. However, this movie proved to me that she can really act and convinced me that her character really loved Peter. For anyone coming at me, it felt like in Far From Home all she really cared about was finding out if he was Spider-Man or not. I've always thought that Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield were more convincing, but Zendaya and Tom are really starting to make the characters' relationship more believable.
Let's not change the parameters of this spell anymore while I'm casting.
Okay, I'm done. I swear I'm done. Nah, but my Aunt May should really know.
Dude, just stop talking to me.
Going into this movie, I had expectations that I knew would end up blowing my mind. However, I didn't think that it could blow me more out of the water than Avengers Endgame. This movie pulled fan service from every direction, but made it feel like it was a necessity for the movie's events. Tom Holland has never been my favourite Spider-Man. He's always been Iron Man Jr. to me, but to say that this film expands his arc to the point where it feels overwhelming is quite honestly true. I underestimated what Marvel and Tom could bring to the role, and this movie proved me wrong with every single scene. Like the entire experience, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. No Way Home continues that upbeat and light tone that Homecoming and Far From Home felt like, and I thought that was a great nod to the fact that this is still part of Tom's trilogy, but once you get to the second half and certain things start to divert all your predictions and expectations, this is when everything captures you. The comedy and, in a way, cliche high school sequences in the first half balance the dark and violent second half. The tones shifted, but was done to make it feel like it was done without a problem.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Nice knowing you, Spider-Man.
Wait, excuse me?
The entire world's about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Everyone? Can't some people still know?
That's not how the spell works.
So my girlfriend's just gonna forget about everything we've been through? I mean, is she even gonna be my girlfriend?
All right, fine.
I actually don't believe that I've seen this movie. As a kid growing up with Spider-Man movies, I feel like this is a dream. I needed someone to pinch me once it was all over. This was easily the best cinema experience I've ever had, so if you're 50-50 on going, go as soon as you can. You will not regret a single cent, and like everyone that I know, you may even go a couple more times. This is larger in scale than Avengers Endgame, and this is something you just can't miss. And I know that I say that a lot, but for this one it's really true. You need to see this with a big audience. Even though the hype is crazy for this right now, it lives up to anybody's expectations, and even exceeds them. I was not let down by anything in this, and I'm so glad that I got to share this with people that I love. The visual effects were so impressive and never felt at any point like they were weak. The complete redesign of the lizard took me by surprise, but he looked so much better, and because of that, I took more of an interest in him as a villain. Same goes for Sandman. Seeing the difference in visual effects from 2002 to nearly 20 years later was mind-blowing. This film is a representation of true passion and how much dreams can come true. They may take a while, but once they're here, you can't believe it. By revisiting every single Spider-Man film from 2002 onwards, it is definitely a necessary rewatch for anyone in order to understand a lot of jokes and Easter eggs that were snuck into the film constantly.
Well, I'll tell you what I call him. Public enemy number one.
Don't do it. Never want to do this ever again.
MJ, I'm so sorry, but I can't see anything with your hand in my... Dude!
Spider-Man No Way Home is everything a Spidey fan like me could ever want. Even though it's only been out for less than a week, you need to rush to the cinemas before this gets spoiled for you. You laugh, you cry, you cheer, and you have an action-packed fun time at the cinema. The 2.5-hour runtime flies by, and I truly could not have been happier with every single second of this film. If I had only one word to describe the feeling I had when I was leaving the cinema afterwards, I would say satisfied, because I've witnessed a truly perfect Spider-Man film. So I'll give Spider-Man No Way Home the score you'd expect, but nevertheless deserves a 10 out of 10. Thank you all so much for watching. Have you seen Spider-Man No Way Home yet? Let me know below. As always, be sure to have a look at my previous reviews of Sing 2 and Dune. This has been Kia's Reviews, signing off for now.
Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.